In Algebra 1, Section 8.5, we're dealing with solving quadratic equations by graphing. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be combining the last two sections into one. I do know, we do know how to graph an equation, but we're going to take it one step from last section and graph it in a way so I can find the solution, okay? And again, remember, the solution is where x equals 0, all right? So if I have 2x squared minus 2 equals 0. When I make an equation equal to 0, right, that means everything is on one side. I can then write the related function. So that means the related function is 2x squared minus 2. That's what is called my related function. So I get everything equal to 0. Once it's equal to 0, then I replace 0 with y. And this is called my related function. So I'm trying to graph y equals 2x squared minus 2. My a is 2. My b is 0, because there's no b. And my c is negative 2. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did last section. I'm going to find the axis of symmetry, which is negative b, so negative 0 over 2a, which is 2 times 2, which is the same thing as saying 0. So that means right here on the y-axis is my axis of symmetry. My vertex is to take this and now plug it into my equation. So y equals 2 times 0 squared minus 2. 0 times anything is 0, so I have negative 2. So my vertex, so it equals negative 2. So my vertex is 0, negative 2. Right? Now, the next step is a little bit different because I'm trying to find 2 points because I want to be more exact than last section. Because I'm trying to find the exact numbers, I want to be more exact. So I'm going to find any 2 numbers. I'm going to find both 2 numbers here or both 2 numbers here, and then I'm going to mirror it. So mix total 4. So I'm going to put in 1 and 2. I can use any numbers except where my axis of symmetry is, because I've already found that one is that it's my vertex. So I'm going to plug it into y equals 2x squared minus 2. So 2 times 1 squared minus 2 is 2 minus 2, which is 0. And then 2 times 2 squared minus 2. Remember that squared only applies to this first 2. So it's 2 times 4 minus 2, 8 minus 2, which is 6. So that means at 1, when x is 1, y is 0. I don't move up and down. And when x is 2, y is positive 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So remember that I can already see if this is right or wrong. I know so far it's right because it looks like it's facing up because it's positive. If a was a negative, then it should be facing down. Now I have these 2 points. Now I'm going to mirror them. So you see how this is 1 away? I'm from the axis of symmetry, so on the other side it should be 1 away, and that's my mirrored point. Okay? And so this one too, this is 2 away, so that means from the axis of symmetry it's 2 away, and here's my mirrored point. Once I find this, then I can graph it. This is my mirror points. And in order, I'm actually solving this, right? So I'm not just graphing it, but I'm actually solving it. And once I graph it more exact, so there's a few more steps than last time, but once I graph it, then where it hits this x is my answer, my solution. So that means I have an x here, which means that one of my answers is x equals 1. And my other answer is x equals negative 1. What that means is, if I plug in 1 for here, it should give me 0. If I plug in negative 1 for here, it should also give me 0. So these are my 2 answers to solve for that problem. All right? So go ahead and write this down. We're going to try one more example. Okay, so in this example, it wants us to solve. The only problem is, besides last time, is that this one is not equal to 0. So we have to make it equal to 0. And basically, I'm just going to move everything to one side. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to move it to this side, where all its other friends are. Okay? So I'm going to put in here. In order for me to move it, I can't just put -2. I have to actually follow the equation. I want to cancel this out, so I'm going to add 2x squared because I want to get this 0. So if I subtract 2x squared and I add 2x squared, this gives me 0. So then I know on this side of the equation I end up with 0. But what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I also have to add 2x squared. And since this is not like terms with anything, I'm going to end up with 2x squared minus 12x plus 18. Okay? So now I have to solve this problem. So 2x squared minus 12x plus 18 equals 0. All right, so my first step, sorry, I kind of zoned out for a minute. My first step is to write the related equation. So it's y equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 18. Yes? And then I need to graph it by finding the axis of symmetry, which is negative, this is my A, B, C. So -2, yes, -2 over, no, -12. It's negative B over 2A. So -12 over 2 times 2. So these two make a positive 12 over 4, which is 3. And then I have to find the vertex. So right here at 3 is my axis of symmetry. Now I need to know where on the axis of symmetry is my vertex. So my vertex, I have to take 3 and I have to plug it into this equation right here. So y equals 2 times 3 squared minus 12 times 3 plus 18. So 2 times 3, let me do the squared first. So it's 2 times 9 minus 36 plus 18. So it's 18 minus 36 plus 18. So sorry, I don't know why I decided to cancel that out. So 18 minus 36. 18 minus 36 is negative 18. So we end up with negative 18 plus 18, which gives us 0. So that means my vertex is 3 and then 0. Okay? So my vertex is 3, 0. And then now I have to find 2 other points. So I'm going to draw my graph. Here's my x, here's my y, and my equation is y equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 18. Okay? I'm going to choose 1 and 2 again because it just seems easier. So we go y equals 2 times 1 squared minus 12 times 1 plus 18. Equals 1 squared is 1, so times 2, this is 2, minus 12 times 1, which is 12, plus 18. So 2 minus 2 is negative 10 plus 18, which gives us positive 8. And then number 2, sorry about that. Number 2 is y equals 2 times 2 squared minus 12 times 2 plus 18. So I have 2 times 4 minus 24 plus 18, which is 8 minus 24 plus 18. So we have 8 minus 24 plus 18 is 2. All right. So that means at 1 on x, I go up 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, it's way up here. And then at 2, I go up 2. So 1, 2. Right? And I mirror. This is 1 away, so this one would be 1 away. And this would be 2 away, so this one would be 1, 2 away. So I know it's hard to see, but this is why we need graphing paper, is our graph. Okay? In this case, this only hits my x right here. So that means my solution is, I only have 1 0, and that's 3. That's x equals 3. So that means this is the only number that will make this equation true. Let's go ahead and try page 557, number 7, and I'll see you in class.